Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Home is Now. And Home is Now is an NHT podcast geared towards getting you home ready. Class is in session today. Grab your pens, grab your notebooks, and settle down, class. Today, we're talking about building out your money roadmap. Because saving is cute, but if you want to get your keys, you need strategy. If you really are interested in home ownership, then your money needs a roadmap. And today, we're building it out. I brought in the best teacher I know. You know her as the money coach, but today we're going to call her Anna. My guest is Anna, the money coach, Palomino, and she's a financial strategist. Hey, Anna.
Hi, Leon.
Hey, girl. So today, as I said, we're talking all things money roadmap.
Got it.
Let's start from the top.
Mm-hmm.
What is a money roadmap?
A money roadmap can be literally anything you want it to be, and it's different for everybody because I think that's what scares people a lot is you think it needs to be this official, solid document that you need to go into the bank or an investment bank or somewhere to get it drafted. And you're like, oh, this is too much. I won't do it. But literally, if you sit down and say, I just want to get my money together, and you have 5 steps, that's your money roadmap.
Cool.
Or if you want to do something more intensive, maybe you're one of those, let me
type
get my
A's,
type A, which I'm that like 50% of the time. Your money roadmap would be like 50 pages long, color coded, all this. So it is what it is. You can make it what you want it to be.
Some people do have a money roadmap since, anything can kind of be a money roadmap and they are actually saving, but they still feel a little far from buying. Mm-hmm. Why would you say that happens?
Yeah, it's a loaded question. But the thing about it is that I don't know if maybe not you, or viewers here will like what I have to say.
Tell us.
It's going to be very blunt. The first thing, drape, not drape.
Maybe.
The first thing is that you think you have a money roadmap that you think you are following, but you actually are not. You think you have it written down, you think you have a solid plan, but when I, for example, as a strategist, come and sit in front of you, I ask you certain questions. I ask you, how much did you get paid last month? You tell me something that this is what I signed the contract for 2 years ago or a year ago. But when I ask you, did you check your bank account to see if down to the cent is there? You can't tell me.
Yeah.
That's something that's so fundamental that so many people don't do. So when you go back to your money roadmap, you're trying to lay out a budget. You're like, oh, but I paid this bill and I paid that bill. But what if you didn't even get all of your paycheck? Mm-hmm. I cannot tell you how frequently this happens. I've coached over 1,000 clients, like one-on-one. I'm telling you how many times I've seen this where accounting departments make errors. You need to make sure you catch it because if you don't catch it, when you try to do your checks and balances, it's not going to happen.
The maths will not match.
The maths not go match. It not go match them at all. And then when you sit down and say, oh, I can't reach the saving goal yet, you're like, oh, but when I sat down and looked, I didn't contribute what I was supposed to contribute for like maybe 3 months out of the year. Ooh. And then you're like, oh, you get depressed because I don't know where my money went. And it starts with something as simple as you don't know how much you even got paid. But that's just one example. Yeah. Another example is you know how much you got paid, but are you actually sticking to the allocations that you've given to yourself? Mm-hmm. This is something that I see all the time. You allocate money for groceries. You're not strict with yourself. You have no discipline with yourself. So what happens is you go to the grocery store and
you feel for something nice, Anna?
No, you can't feel for nothing nice. Not right now. Nobody feel for nothing nice. Go home and boil 2 dumplings and put 2 sauce on it.
Not the boiled dumplings.
That's it.
Okay.
You can't tell me about you have a goal. Worse if it's an aggressive goal. That's the difference, because I always tell my clients, you can choose to have a long-term goal and you need to have long-term expectations. But if you want an aggressive goal, then you need to know that you're going to have to do aggressive things. Yep. Like the feel for something nice. That not go work.
Wrap it up.
That not go work.
All right.
May I tell you, boil 2 dumplings and put some barbecue sauce on it or something. I don't know. But the point is that you go to the grocery store, you feel for something nice, and this is something that I test my clients with all the time, is you go to the checkout line, the cashier tells you the bill is $10,010. Your budget is $10,000. How many of us will put something back because the bill is $10,010? You're not putting something back.
It's $10, right?
You see, at a mindset there. You see what I say? Let me just catch you a while ago.
Yeah.
But that's what typically happens, And the thing about it, numbers are black and white. So if you take the $10 here,
It's
going to come from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And you know what happens? The sad reality is that the first thing that takes a hit is your investment and savings goals.
Yeah.
Coming back to your home ownership goals. It's just $900. It's just $990. It's $990. It's just $10 short. That'll kill me.
Yeah.
But that compounds over time.
True.
You know, so you feel like you have a money plan. You feel like you have a money roadmap. You feel like you're sticking to it. But those micro habits, you're not tracking them. So you're not catching the leaks.
So Anna, right? Most of our contributors are the real people. And I mean, I know sometimes like, the real people. So what we're doing is we're throwing a partner. We're keeping a round robin. You put a little money under your mattress. How does that fit into building out a money roadmap that's structured, that makes sense, and that you can actually track?
All right, watch this now. Boy, this whole thing, I could just put one bag of fire upon me again.
Drape us again.
I'm never get draped now. So the thing about it is that when it comes to things like partners and round robins, yes, they work, you know, but they work based on the goal that you have.
Got you.
If you're looking to multiply your wealth and grow your wealth, it doesn't work for that at all. This works for somebody who does not have discipline, and you know you need to put something in place to sort of catch yourself.
Yeah.
So you know you can't trust yourself to put aside some amount of money every month. You know, you can't trust yourself to do that. You take up that amount and you go give somebody, right?
Yeah.
And you wait until you get your draw, or you wait until you get your hand. That works in that scenario because at least you sit down and look, or you stand up and look yourself in the mirror and say, you know, I really like discipline. And instead of me ignoring it or pretending, that's a whole, we need to do another episode on that. But instead of us pretending, we say, I have a problem and this is how I'm going to fix the problem. I'm going to take myself, carry the money every week or every month, and I'm going to contribute it to the partner. And then when it's my time, I get a lump sum. It works in that case. But just know, you need to understand that that is not multiplying or growing wealth.
Yeah.
Inflation still a box it.
So would you say then that for the person who's really ambitious and who is not just saving for saving, but is strategizing, your partners, your own robin, your money under the mattress, they're stepping stones. So they're your level one, essentially. They're like, all right, we'll start here, but we're going to need to do something else to multiply it. Yeah, that's what you'd say. All right. Tell me about some of the multiplying things that we can do.
The multiplying things.
But for the real people, right?
Okay.
So I'm coming to you. I just finished my partner plan at the end of the year. I got $150,000 from my draw and I want to buy a house next year. What would you say to me?
Again, if you come sit down in my office, I'm going to tell you step right back out because I'm very realistic. That's not how it works. And it's very, very important that we understand how money works and how it looks in real life, because I saw people get scammed. Yeah. You know, you have these you come into my office, tell me you want to buy a house with $150,000 in 1 year. Next year.
Brats.
Quick and fast. Hurry up.
Because I feel for the house, which is really, honestly, I think something that we're really trying to challenge. A lot of the times we hear, oh, you know, last year I was planning to buy a house but you don't just get up and feel for something as massive as a house. It's not a phone. It's not even a car, which is still a big deal. It's a house. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars, sometimes $100 million, but not for us, right? Because we're the real people. So the tens of millions of dollars. So what can I do realistically? Like, how do I build that out? I don't know anything about investing. I hear about Barita, JMB, whomever, all the brokers. But what do I do with my $150,000 that I just get from my partner draw?
Okay, so the first step is, and my first step is always going to be education. Yeah. I firmly believe that you shouldn't walk in no institution at all. Just carry your cash, dump it out, and be like, do something with this for me now. No, irks, wrong. Wrong bang. Like, right.
If you're taking notes, put a wrong beside that.
And put it in red.
Red.
Yeah. So the thing is, education, you start there. You get your draw in December, you said? Yeah. Book out January just for education. Yeah. And you're going to learn about the different types of investments. You're going to learn about unit trusts. You're going to learn how the Jamaica Stock Exchange works. You're going to learn about bonds. You're going to learn about all those things, right? And those three things, after you learn about them, you're going to realize those are the three things that you need to be looking to. But when you learn about them, you're going to understand that this is not a next year thing. This is not a buy this in 11 months type of thing, because that is not how finance works. Yeah. Right? Now, something that we should talk about that's very important, which ties back to what we're saying, is that, and it may be the reason why, we're not reaching our goals or home ownership goals, is that you are saving in a savings account or you're in a partner, but inflation is attacking what you have in that savings account. It's attacking what you have on the mattress. It's attacking your drawer. And what's happening is that inflation is positively affecting real estate. Mm-hmm. So you started your real estate journey saying, I'm going to save $5 million as a deposit for a property that I want. And I'm going to do it in X amount of time. But note I said save. So you're saving it in a bank account. Inflation is attacking it. It's not growing at all. It's going to be $5,000. $5 million.
At the end of your period.
At the end of the period. And you're going to say, but I go in the account and I see the $5 million. So what's the problem? The problem is when you look on the flip side of the property that you wanted to buy.
Yeah.
When you first started your journey, $5 million at a time could have been a deposit for a $50 million property. And you're like, a $50 million property could have been like a 3-4 bedroom. All this. But by the time you're ready, inflation has affected real estate. And what happens is that the value of the real estate appreciates. Yeah. So now that is no longer $50 million. That is probably $70 million now. I know you are $2 million short. Yeah. So it's almost like you're in a rat race. You can't catch up. You can't keep up with it unless you turn to investing, because investing compounds your money over time. It depends on what you're investing in, but generally the point of investing is it compounds your wealth and your money over time.
Yeah.
So that's essentially what you're looking at.
Boy, and it sounds like I want to say it sounds like it's rough, but the truth is it just requires discipline, education, stick-to-itiveness. Really, truly.
Yeah. It's not rough, I always, listen, my motto in life is that I'm Jamaican. Life must be easy. Yeah. Like I don't like the one bag of challenge and tough times. I don't like that. Yeah. So I try to make everything easy for my clients and for myself. Essentially, once you have this plan and you understand, that's what slap a lot of people wickedly, is that you don't understand. Yeah. So once you understand how these things work and you put a plan in place based on your understanding of how these things work, along with timelines, you're gonna be fine. It's literally a case of automation. Yeah. It's set it and forget it almost,
Got you.
Yeah.
So Anna, I know you just told me it's set it and forget it, but it feels like a lot. How does someone who feels overwhelmed start?
Okay, what if I could just be in your brain? Me, another money coach, could just be in your brain. What if I could just tell you what to do? You just wake up, I just tell you what to do, where to go, who to talk to, what to say. So essentially, that's what my new piece of technology, my new app, Quarter, is about. I told you I've been coaching for 7+ years. I've coached over 1,000 clients. I've developed my own formulas, my own systems based on real life, my own life and the life of all of my clients. And I've put all of this, the strategy, the steps, the system in one place, one app. And that's what Quarter is.
If there's anything that you take away from today's conversation, is that money without direction drifts. Matter of fact, it's probably dying. So what you need is strategy. Strategy moves. If this conversation has been entertaining, educating, informative to you, good, that's the point. If it makes you feel a little bit more prepared to at least start learning about what you need to do with your money for home ownership, that's the point. Thanks for joining us. This has been Home is Now.